We still have not completely grasped how to accurately judge young players in the NBA. Years ago, it was easy. What the player produced usually equated to who they are, but players are joining the association at a much younger age. You can't understand what a player is, or who they'll become, based solely on what they produce. You have to look at style, flashes of greatness, and unique quirks. It's a failing practice that often leads to a varying level of inaccurate conclusions. A player that falls into this category is perfect for this series, because I'm here to shine a light on players who I believe are misunderstood, giving you a complete look at what a player truly is, what they do right, what they do wrong, and everything in between. This week, that player is D'Angelo Russell. D-loading is a raw talent, and his numbers won't jump off the page, but he shows signs of becoming a very good passer in the NBA. He averaged just under 5 assists per game in his sophomore season, but it was the quality of some of those assists that show his aptitude for the craft. His pick-and-roll passing in particular is much better than his pick-and-roll scoring. He had loads of chemistry with Timofey Mozgov, Julius Randle, and Larry Nance Jr., and was even adept at the skip pass, which is an extremely necessary asset for a point guard. D'Angelo had about 1 to 2 wow passes every single game last season. Wraparounds, fast break dishes, and no-looks filled out his passing portfolio. This type of unique vision proves much more about his skills than how many assists he accumulated. To put it into perspective, James Harden averaged just 2.1 assists per game in his age 20 season, and this season led the league in assists. If you look at his game outside of passing, his potential becomes much murkier. D'Angelo Russell is a supremely confident scorer, but not a great one. His greatest problem comes at the rim. He barely attacks the basket, which means less free throws and a lower field goal percentage. He took so few attempts in the restricted area that he actually shot 58 more times from mid-range, an insane statistic that should not be real in today's NBA. He also isn't very good at the rim when he does make it there. He often shies away from contact and chooses to go to his finger roll floater, which either gets blocked or forces him to slow down instead of using his 6'5" frame to barrel towards the hoop. How inoften he uses the backboard on layups is borderline criminal. He needs to substitute his mid-range J's for hard crashing layups, something he is extremely capable of as he seemed to get to the rim when he wanted. He just didn't seem to want it that much or that often. His propensity to shoot over drive isn't always a bad thing, however. It is what led to him to shoot over 10 3-pointers per game per 100 possessions, something only 15 of the league's best shooters did. When it comes to threes, the more you shoot, the better. He doesn't shoot at a spectacular clip, but the amount he shoots almost makes that unimportant. He is a threat from the outside because the threat is constant. His most beloved shot, the pull-up jumper, is his most effective, shooting 51% on these types of shots, but a low percentage on most others. Expect that to rise. The confidence, willingness, and skill are all there. He should be a deadly, off-the-dribble shooter at some point in his career, but he needs to vastly improve his shot selection, and again, cut down on mid-range jumpers. He also has an interesting post game. He was able to get some assists out of the post, and usually goes to his fadeaway when looking to score. It is interesting that even in the post, he chooses to literally fade away from contact. It's not an effective means of scoring, but one that may be productive when matched up on smaller guards. Defensively, he isn't very good. His off-ball defense is often lackadaisical. Although he is vocal and will call it switches, he usually goes the wrong way when having to chase a guy around screens, or slowly trails him. And he won't help correctly when an opposing player is driving to the hoop. His on-ball defense isn't much better. He mostly dies on screens or overreaches, allowing the defender to beat him to the hoop. He is aware of his own misgivings on defense, however, saying in a piece done by ESPN's Zach Lowe that, "I wanted to play defense in LA, but I felt like I had to score every chance I got for us to be relevant." D'Angelo Russell will be just 21 years old next season, and is simply not yet a good player. He is, however, now in a place with more opportunities, less drama, a smaller spotlight, and one of my favorite Jersey Arena combos in the league. It's impossible to say definitively what he will become, but the most important thing to understand is that he is not yet who he will be. But this is what he is now.